Daggy boys, they know what they're doing. They have their own pedigree, and they're great. But again, I'm biased. Of course they're gonna say that because it's my boy. But I truly, gun to my head, I could bet honestly, I could bet my whole house on it.
Former UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya is extremely confident of his teammate Alexander Volkanovski's chances at UFC 284. During an appearance on the Flagrant podcast, the last stylebender added some context to his confidence levels, claiming he bet his whole house on Volkanovski to emerge from Perth with a second piece of gold. Despite many suggesting the challenge will be too much for him, Volkanovski has long been doubted and long proved his detractors wrong en route to his reign on the featherweight throne. At UFC 284, he'll look to complete his biggest underdog story to date. Do you think Volkanovski can do it? Make your predictions for UFC 284 in the comments below. Joe Rogan and Sean O'Malley discuss the massive improvements Jake Paul has shown and what the future could hold for him. Joe Rogan and Sugar Sean O'Malley have lauded cruiserweight pugilist Jake Paul for the massive improvements that the YouTuber-turned-boxer has displayed in his fights. In a recent edition of the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, the UFC commentator suggested that if it were any other up-and-coming boxer instead of YouTube star Paul, they'd be praised for dominantly defeating mixed martial arts fighters in the boxing ring.
I like Jake's fights too. I'll watch those, but it's pretty much the only boxing I watch, like Logan or Jake's fighting. Or
he dropped Anderson Silva.
I was front row for that.
He dropped Anderson Silva.
It was,
no matter what anybody says.
Yeah.
Jake Paul dropped Anderson Silva. You got to stop with all this. He's just a YouTuber.
Yeah.
He had a boxing match with Anderson Silva. He won a unanimous decision, and he dropped him.
Yeah, it was entertaining.
Over.
It was fucking entertaining,
Very entertaining.
too.
It was a good fight.
Great boxing match.
I submit, and I have before, that if that guy wasn't Jake Paul from YouTube, and he was just an up-and-coming, undefeated boxer who's been knocking out MMA fighters, you would go, wow, this kid is fucking awesome.
Additionally, Sean O'Malley said that Jake Paul improved in leaps and bounds between his rematch against Tyron Woodley in December 2021 and his recent fight against Anderson Silva. Do you believe Jake Paul deserves more respect because of what he's done? Khamzat Chimaev explains why the hate doesn't bother him. UFC welterweight contender Khamzat Chimaev knew his UFC 279 weight miss wouldn't be positively received, though it didn't throw him off his game. During an interview with ESPN's Brett Okamoto, Khamzat spoke about how he dealt with the hostility towards him after his UFC 279 botched weight cut.
When somebody do it like this, like everyone's against you, it's like, how to explain for you? Your phone is like going down, almost dead, you know. They give you some charger and they so you get 100% and they're ready to jump in the cage so they kill somebody.
Yeah.
So kind of I feeling like when somebody's like saying never gonna be champion, never gonna be this, that makes me like, yeah, I become crazy.
As Khamzat moves closer to a potential UFC title, fans will likely continue to have mixed feelings about him. If his comments are an indication, he seems ready to deal with any cheers or jeers headed his way. Belal Muhammad asks Kamaru Usman to step down and let him fight Leon Edwards. Belal Muhammad has urged Kamaru Usman to step aside and let him face Leon Edwards for the welterweight title next, insisting that the former champion shouldn't be gifted an instant rematch. In a video directed at Kamaru Usman, Belal Muhammad demanded that he should be given the next shot at the title.
You don't get the rematch right away. You have to go through a whole nother season and try to get back there again. You don't get the rematch right away. You have to go through a whole nother season and try to get back there again. So Usman, sit down a little bit, relax, heal up, let me fight Leon.
Although nothing has been made official, it seems the UFC wants Leon Edwards to make his first defense of his championship in England in an instant rematch with the former pound-for-pound #1 fighter in the world. Do you think fighters should get instant rematches, or should they fight their way back into title shots? That's all for today's video. If you want to know the latest UFC news, subscribe to the channel, hit the notifications bell, and click the like button so you don't miss any details about the upcoming fights. Thanks for watching. See you soon.